like,
There you go. I started the podcast.
cool.
Annet.
Yes.
It is part 2.
Rad. Very cool.
Okay, so do you think women are jealous of men because they can pee while standing up? Because when I went on my little break right now, I also went to the bathroom, and I literally didn't even have to stand near the toilet. I was like about a good solid bit away from the toilet, and I could just like take it out and just pee from there. It was really cool.
Sounds very convenient.
Do you think?
I don't know.
Because like for you girls, you have to like take off your pants and you have to sit down, and then it's just a very boring process, and you're just kind of like, and then you have to get up and then put them back on and then wash your hands. For guys, it's just we just go in the bathroom, get out, quick and easy.
Please wash your hands after you go to the bathroom, especially
I wash
now.
My hands. I do wash my hands.
That's good. I don't know. I don't think anybody's ever actually talked about that, but I imagine they would be. I imagine it's a lot more convenient.
It's very convenient. Especially, shocker. I don't know if you want to hear this, but in high school, you don't touch a guy's hand.
I can see why.
And because I can tell you, 90% of the guys that go into the bathroom do not wash their hands.
That is very disgusting, and probably why Corona has spread
They
so fast as it has.
They pee, talk to their homies, and then they just get out. What's worse is
That's very disconcerting.
I saw this guy eating Doritos, like the little chips from the vending machine, and he was in the urinal. And he was still eating the chips while he was peeing, and then he just puts his pants back on, and then he just gets out. It's like, huh. Alright.
It's awful. Food does not belong.
A lot of germs.
Yeah, definitely.
I think everyone's guilty. I'm guilty of this. I think Noah is. Every guy, pretty much, to an extent, is very guilty of this because we forget how good peeing feels sometimes, since it's so quick and easy.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I think girls are, to an extent, are very jealous because you guys take fucking for hours in the restroom.
That is true. But I think it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot. It seems like it's a lot more convenient for guys.
Oh yeah.
So.
Urinals are really awesome.
But I think the problem is things get a lot dirtier.
Oh yeah, there's piss on the floor.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. It's like that doesn't really happen. Well, it could, but that's a disgusting situation that I don't want to spend any time thinking about.
You want to hear a funny story?
Let's hear it.
When I was little, I was at a Valley Village, and I really wanted to go to the bathroom, and there's these other, like, maybe around my age, but I know because I had gone to the bathroom when I first got in, but it was like we had already spent 30 minutes in there. For some reason, I had to go again. So there was like a little line because the people in front of us were like kids, right? So when it goes to my turn, I am absolutely disgusted. Not because what's in the toilet, rather in fact, it was what was outside the toilet. This is some kid, and I know it was a kid because of the shape. Shit on the floor right next to the toilet.
It's awful.
Like, there's a toilet right there. Why would you do that?
It's horrifying. Yeah, public bathrooms are very disconcerting. I think I try to avoid them if I can, but,
I don't know what was going on through that kid's head. There's a literal toilet right there.
Well, I think, like, kids, they don't think about things as they do them a lot.
Yeah.
So, It's still not a fun thing to see.
No. So I hold mine in, you know. Right. So I heard you like the Beatles.
I do.
What do you like about them?
I don't know. I like their music. It's like super simplistic, but it's nice to listen to. You know, and some of it's like more complicated. Like the further you get into their discography, the more interesting their music gets. But I think their earlier hits are also very nice. It's just pleasant to listen to. And it's like, it's a family thing. My mom was also very into the Beatles, and like, it's a nice thing to listen to. Kind of connects me to my parents, and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's just a little nostalgic to me, because like,
What
a
is
few years ago,
You want to rank some Beatles? Actually, no. Continue what you're saying. You said a few years ago.
yeah, a few years ago, I was very, very into the Beatles. My friends will tell you. It was a bad time to be around me.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like, it was a simpler time. So, it's nice to kind of listen to them now and remember what it felt like.
Do you want to rank some Beatles songs?
Sure. I'm gonna have to look them up real quick. Check out my iTunes. Just to remember all of them so I don't miss any.
We're gonna make a tier list. Hold on.
Alright.
Tier list Beatles. Do you want to do albums or songs? Have you listened to all the albums?
I have listened to all the albums. Let's do albums. It'd probably be a little bit easier.
Alright, Beatles album tier list. Do you know, can you watch my screen?
I can see. Do you have screen sharing on?
I'm doing it right now.
Cool.
Hold on. Screen share. I'm gonna find a way so that the audience can be able to watch this. I think.
Very cool.
Go live. There you go. Join.
Yep.
You see that?
Yep.
Alright, now let me find a way so I can put it on the podcast. Window capture. Wait, did it like turn off my thing?
No. I can still see your stream.
Nice. It's just a little laggy here.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, you know what? I'll just keep it like this.
Nice.
How do I crop it? Jesus Christ. This is stupid. Oh my god. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of this. Jeez. It's terrible. Window capture. Is this the window capture? I'm retarded. Hold on. There we go. Here, I'll just post the final image and in the description. Alright.
Cool.
So, you're watching my stream, correct?
I am.
Alright. We will now be ranking Beatles albums.
Okay.
Well, I don't
S
know
tier.
what album this is.
That's the White Album.
The White Album.
So I'd probably put that in the S tier, because it is great.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, it's a really nice mix of like all their music. 'Cause they have music that sounds like the simpler, like the more simple times that they used to be like, but also newer hits. It's just a really interesting album. And you know, Manson Murders, inspired by Helter Skelter. That's an interesting part of history.
What about this guy?
That's the only album I'd put in the S tier, honestly. Let It Be, D tier. It's stupid and I hate it. Not really, it's a good album, but it's not my favorite.
So, I'll put it in C?
Yeah, let's do it.
I know you like this one, right?
Revolver, oh yeah. That's an S tier, definitely. I'm very biased. I like all of them.
What about this one?
Abbey Road's A, I think. A tier. It's a very sad album, because it is the last one that they recorded, so, you know, you can kind of feel them splitting apart. God, your jazz music is so loud.
Yeah, oh god. I think that works. Alright, what about this?
Okay. Also A tier, I think. I like it. It's not very skilled. It's not a very skilled album, but it is really cute.
I like this one. I have this on vinyl.
Please Please Me? Yeah, I think I might have it. I don't know. I have a few of them. That one's a B tier. I think it's overrated, but, you know.
What? I liked it a lot. It had good hits like
It is good. It is good, but, you know.
And,
Are you gonna move it to A?
yeah, I'm moving it to A, because I think I like it a lot.
Fine, fine.
What about this? This one looks stupid.
Beatles for Sale isn't very good. I'd put that in C. It's okay. You know, I like some of the songs, but most of them are covers, and, like, they're annoying. Don't put it in D. It's better than D. No Beatles album deserves to be in D.
This one.
Rubber Soul is S tier. Rubber Soul is the best. It's the first album I listened to because I was stupid and I listened to them out of order, but it's great and I love it. I think it was their first album where they didn't have any covers on it, which is interesting. I think it's a good jump.
What about this one looked good.
Sgt. Pepper's? That's an A, I think. It's also overrated, in my opinion.
What about this? I like this one.
Help! I love Help! I've seen the movie. Let's put that in A tier. I own the movie. It's a good movie. It's a weird movie.
What about this?
Good. That one's great too. I put that in S actually. That's one of my favorites.
This one's S.
That one's a B tier. Yeah, you think it's S?
I think it's weird, okay? It's a weird funky
It is
album.
weird. It's very true. Oh no, it has I Am the Walrus on it. I keep forgetting that. That's a good song. I love that song. It is a really trippy album. There's also a movie that goes with that one. But it is terrible. It's a bad movie.
I think, because I listened to the album, and compared to the other stuff, it was very bold. Very bold decision.
It was very interesting. But you know, the thing about it, I think it came out right after their manager died. So it was a very big shock to the Beatles, and it like affected their music definitely. You can see like, their music starts to take a turn from the mainstream to a lot more trippiness. But you know, yeah. It's good.
Doesn't it have Strawberry Fields though? Which one has Strawberry Fields?
It was either Revolver or no. I'm pretty sure it might have been Magical Mystery Tour. Maybe both of them. I'm gonna go look.
I like that one. All right.
No, Strawberry Fields is on Magical Mystery. I think. It also has Here, There, and Everywhere on it, which I do like a lot. You know, I just like all of them. I don't think you can hate a Beatles song, except Hey Jude, because that one sucks ass and it's overrated. But you know. That is the one Beatles song I will never listen to.
Do you not like it?
I just don't like it. I don't like it.
It's like
repetitive. I hate it when people do like I don't know, like filler vocals like the na 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 na, like that kind of thing. I do not like that in music. That was completely out of key, but
the Beatles.
You know, it's
Beatles.
Yeah, I think they're great.
Beatles.
I have a fair amount of Beatles posters in my room.
Funny
so
when the Beatles gets eaten by a snake, get it? I've never listened to the Beatles, so get it? Because they're Beatles.
Nice.
Yeah. Right, now I can stop sharing my screen.
I know way too much about the Beatles.
You want to give us some trivia, then?
Some trivia? Alright,
facts.
okay. Some fun facts? Okay. So, originally, the Beatles were called the Quarrymen before they had Ringo. They had a bunch of names. And then they went to the Silver Beatles, with Beatles written like the animal. And then eventually, they popped their way over to Beatles, like Beatles. Beatles. Which I think is kind of funny, because it always makes me think of Beatless. Like, that's how I phonetically see it. Which is, I don't know. Just something I find interesting.
Why did they choose the name Beatles? Like, was it the animal? Not the animal, but insect?
I think it was the animal. I think it was the insect. I think there was a band that was already called the Beatles, like Beetles. And I think they wanted to not have any copyright claim. I'm pretty sure that's it. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But yeah. Originally, they were on an EP. They were on a backing track for an EP. That was their first release. I do not remember what it was called, but everybody went mental over it. And they really liked the Beatles. So when their manager came into a record store, he noticed that everyone liked it a ton. I think he owned a record store. And then he signed them, and then he got them to do stuff. God, I do not know how to speak. There was a fifth Beatle, actually. And he played bass, but he was bad. He was really bad at it, but he was really cute, apparently. So the fans got pissed when they kicked him out of the band. But they had to, because he was bad at his instrument.
Beatles. Yeah. What outfits did you like? The colorful ones, or like when they had simpler...
Sgt. Pepper? Yeah, I think it's interesting. They came out with suits, and like, that was kind of cool. I liked that. That was kind of clean cut, kind of nice to look at. But I do like the Sgt. Pepper outfit, and then like the more hippie, late 60s kind of stuff, like the cover for Abbey Road. I really like that one. Paul is dead. But Paul is dead.
Who is your favorite Beatle member?
George. I like George Harrison. Yeah. Or Ringo. I like Ringo too.
He's the one that had the solo album with My Sweet Lord, right?
I think he might. I'm not really sure on the Beatles' solo careers, but he might have.
Yeah, he
does have a
really good song.
Yeah, and he made another song that's not as good, but I do like it. All Things Come to Pass, or All Things Must Pass. I really like that one.
Wait, I think that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, it might be.
Hold on.
But he had that one album cover with like the gnomes and the gardening stuff.
All Things Must Pass was a really good.
Yeah, that was a really good song.
Yeah, it had the song My Sweet Lord on it, which was really nice, which I might be able to play. Hold on.
Yeah, see what's interesting about George Harrison is Paul and John would rarely let him put songs onto albums, because like most of the songs would be Paul and John. And then like occasionally George would be able to sneak a song onto an album. So when the Beatles broke up, he had this whole backlog of songs, so he was able to immediately bang out an album, which is really interesting, I think. And I think he does write really good songs. I think they're a little bit underrated. Like he has another one.
Oh yeah, sorry, go.
Yeah, no, he has one, like the first, like really early song he wrote. I'm gonna look it up because I don't remember what it's called. Me looking for it. There we go. If I Needed Someone, I think he wrote that one. I really like that one. And it's a good one. And it's like, and Something, that's his big one. John Sinatra thought that... Whoa, what did I just say? Frank Sinatra thought that John and Paul wrote it. That's how good it was. John Sinatra, Jesus Christ.
What do you think of Paul McCartney's Christmas music?
Yes, I have no idea. I stopped paying attention to Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Like, a long time ago. I think I listened to Band on the Run, like just that song, and that was
Band
it.
on the Run was good. I like that.
It is a pretty good song.
It had David Bowie, right?
It might have. I'm really not sure.
It had a cool collection of various artists from that time.
Yeah, it was a pretty good song.
Yeah, because it had like 3 parts to it, like 4 main parts. And then it beautifully, all comes together at the end. Yeah.
It's been a while. I think I listened to it on a really bad Walkman on a tape, so it was kind of slowed down thing to listen to, because it was 1 in the morning. So you're in the sitting there 1 in the morning listening to a slightly slowed down tape, and it's
Yeah.
It's pretty pretty bad. But yeah, and I like some of John Lennon's music after they broke up. Like Instant Karma was kind of good.
Oh. Yeah.
I think there's like another one, but I forget what it's called because they did all that stuff with Yoko, which is interesting. You know.
Do you believe?
I mean, there's
the Beatles. What is it? What did John Lennon do? He beat his wife, right?
Yeah, his first Cynthia.
What do you think about that?
I think that's bad. I think you should never beat someone, but you need to differentiate the music from the artist, you know, because like a lot of artists and people that rise to fame are bad people, but you shouldn't necessarily penalize the things that they bring into the world just because of their personality.
Yeah, I think that's interesting.
Yeah, but you know, it's hard. Like, if you really like somebody's music and then you find out, oh no, there's some sexual misconduct allegation, and then you start to dislike the music because they're a bad person. But you know, I think you should try to like music based off the music itself and not the person.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
I think everyone makes bad mistakes, and it's no excuse to what people do. Obviously,
yeah.
Everyone should face their consequences because life is just situations given to you and how you react to them, and how the consequences are going to be good or bad. You know.
Yeah.
And when it's stuff like that, everyone deserves a second chance, and you know. I do believe in people redeeming themselves because, you know, no one stays the same person like forever. You're always growing and learning, right?
Yeah, of course.
So
like that's the whole problem. Sorry,
yeah.
I keep doing this.
No, that's alright. I was just gonna say, like,
yeah.
The Annet 2 years ago isn't the Annet right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's why cancel culture is such a bad thing. Like, people talk about this to death on the internet, but
oh, yeah.
like, cancel culture is... people aren't the same person they were 4 years ago. Like, if you look at Dan Harmon, I'm pretty sure he was fired from Community. Like, that's the show he did. Mm-hmm. Because of a sexual misconduct allegation, like sexual assault allegations. But, you know, he went out to make, like, Rick and Morty and a bunch of other good stuff. And he's probably not the same. He's probably changed since then, hopefully. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's like, you shouldn't demonize somebody because of something they did 4 years ago.
Oh, totally.
You know, people like to bring up the,
past
David Dobrik, raping his cat joke. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it was a bad joke, and it was 4 years ago.
I never really liked David Dobrik, though. He's really annoying.
I don't think I've ever seen any of his content.
Yeah, I don't understand how anyone can watch it, because I watch some videos, and it's just like, hey guys, what's up? And it's so extreme, the whole video.
Yeah, I've never really been able to watch vlogs, because they're just so saturated, and kind of just not interesting to me.
Oh yeah.
Like, I guess people watch them because they want to see interesting lives, and escape from their own boring life, but you know, I've never really seen the appeal.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some blogs are cool though. Like, if you really care about the person, and they actually talk about the scenery and where they're going and how their experience is. Like, I used to watch vlogs of Alaska because I missed living there, and some are very interesting because I learned things that I didn't know. But if it's vlogs where they're just focusing on themselves and just acting crazy, then I don't really like it.
Yeah, I think humans crave genuineness, so they like things that are more, nice. Just something you can relate to. You know, something genuine. Something you feel good about watching. Like, I read a lot of books, and I read a lot of bad YA romance novels, and they're all so outlandish. It's like, it all has the same plot, but sometimes I find one, and it's just kind of different, and it's just nice. It just makes me feel really good to read it.
Oh yeah. Do you think the media oversaturates what perfection should be like with male actors and female actors?
Yeah, I think they do. I think it's getting a lot better for women now. I think, body positivity Like, obesity is bad and you shouldn't normalize it, but, you know, some people have a slower metabolism than others, and some people are just naturally built to be more,
Hefty.
like, stocky. Or hefty, yes.
Yeah.
Like, just more, like, different body types exist, and I think it's good to show that in the media. But I think for guys, it's still a problem. Like, I think not all feminists do this, but I think there was, like, a feminist talking point. It's like, guys don't have to worry what they look like, but that's totally not true.
Oh,
you know?
no. We do all the time, actually.
Yeah, like, yeah, I think guys have more of a problem now than women do, and I think that's the next thing people should focus on. But, you know, it's such a problem
However,
in today's...
I do think it's still... I think, like, overall in movies and stuff, I am starting to see, like, people with a little bit of flaws, which is nice, you know? Because
yeah, it is really nice to see.
Of a, oh, these are just people, you know? However...
Yeah.
I'm not saying pretty people should be cancelled. But, you know, it does feel kind of put you down. However, you know, if I go to my Instagram Explore page, there's dozens and dozens of, like, quote-unquote perfect people with their, like, insane face symmetry and, like...
Yeah, I think
it's worse. It's getting worse on social media, though. Because a lot of these are, like, really pretty girls, and, you know, I hear a lot of stories of people are quitting social media because they keep, you know, focusing on what other people look.
Yeah, and I think a problem with social media, too, is, like, I get kind of depressed sometimes looking at social media, like, before the quarantine. It's gotten better since the quarantine, but, like, I constantly see people posting pictures of, like, doing things, and they're like, so much fun with these people today. And I'd usually, like, be in my room and not do anything, so I'd feel equal parts jealous and, like, sad that I didn't have a situation like that. But, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You just gotta take a step back. Like, social media portrays life to be a lot more... You want to portray yourself as a good person and, like, an interesting, cool person on social media. Like, so that other people respect you and think you're cool and interesting, even though it might not be completely accurate. Oh, yeah. But, you know, I think you gotta take a step back sometimes and, like, just remember that people are still people, and it's okay to go on your own pace. Like, maybe if you don't have a lot of friends, or if you're not at the moment, or if you're do a lot more by yourself, I think that's still okay. It's just all, you know, be happy with who you are.
That was very well said.
Thank you.
Do you think, you know, what is your opinion on, how do you think people can cope with a loss in their life?
Well, like a loss, right? Do you mean like
have you ever
like
experienced something grand where you just felt a great feel of sorrow for a long time?
I get really worried that people don't like me. I want to be somebody who's liked. And, you know, like, I think there's a problem that you can constantly... I think nowadays you can constantly be in contact with somebody. And I think that's really problematic. Because if it's somebody I like, I want to constantly be in contact with them. And if they don't reciprocate that, then I get really paranoid. I get sad. I feel like, oh no, this person doesn't like me. I've messed up. I've fucked something up big time. But, like... Yeah, I think... And regarding that, like, I feel like I accidentally drive people away. Or maybe it's not me, it's just how life is. And I feel like I lose friends from time to time. Or, like, I wasn't as close to somebody as I was previously. Which does make me feel very sad. But, you know, sometimes friends just grow apart, and I have to accept that. And remember that I do have other friends who also care about me. You know, like, don't hinge your... Sorry.
Oh, no, keep going.
Don't, like, hinge yourself on one person, because you always have people who will support you, or who will, like, care about you. And if you focus on, like, the one person that doesn't care about you as much as the rest of your friends do, I think you'll be a lot more sad. And that's something I should keep in mind.
You know, you say, like, stuff like, how, you know, it's very problematic that you can text anyone at whatever time you want. I somewhat agree with that. You know, people. I saw a lot of posts like, "Oh, now that we're in quarantine, if someone doesn't respond to you, then they just don't want to talk to you because we have more time than ever to respond to the person." And I think that's very wrong. You know, I think people need to stop being so self-centered. You know, just because we're all stuck inside does not mean I'm going to be on my phone 24/7 checking what's going on. And you know, it's not that I don't want to talk to you. I'm just very bad at talking over text.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not good with just responding. So,
like, sorry.
Oh, no, keep going. I was about to end anyways.
Yeah, I consider myself to be pretty good at responding, or at least, like, I'll always respond to somebody if they text me.
Mm-hmm.
But, on the flip side of that, I am very, I like text more than I like talking in person, because I tend to get flustered, and, like, my words kind of all come out at once, and I'm not as good as communicating in person as I am over text, unless I can, like, think about what I want to say, which is why I like texting more. But, you know, people aren't going to be on their phones 24/7, and that's just something I have to keep in mind.
Of course, yeah.
And I'm trying to get better at it.
I think what we ignore a lot is a lot of people do care for us, even the people that we don't know. Like,
yeah,
you are still somebody in the story of somebody else's story. You can be a minor character or a big character, but, you know, at the end of the day, you're still a person. So I get really sad when people think no one cares for them, because there are plenty of people willing to care and already do care, you know?
Yeah.
It's
I get it. Like,
incredibly sad. And I understand the feeling of no one cares about me, no one wants to talk to me, I'm a bad person. I know what it feels like, and it's those emotions are very strong, and they blur your thoughts. And I think a lot of people need to learn how to, you know, it's okay to feel things and feel sad, but you shouldn't let it jog your mind. You know, there should be two parts of you. Your logical, your brain, and your heart. You know, your feeling and your logic.
It's like people, like, I have problems with I definitely deal with that a lot. Like, I forget about all the people who care about me, and I focus on the more negative aspects of my life. Like, oh god, I'm not good enough, I'm not interesting enough, I'm not a person people want to be around, I'm too annoying, I'm too neurotic, I'm too clingy. But, like, a lot of people don't think that way about me, but, like, I tend to focus on that, which is something I'm trying to get away from. Like, it kind of goes up and down, but I think I'm getting a lot better at it lately.
Yeah. Well, Annette.
Yes.
We are at 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Nice.
Well, would you like to keep going, or do you think we can wrap this up?
We can wrap this up. I have a thing at 3, so it's probably be better.
Yeah. Well, Annette, what would you like to tell the people listening right now?
You know, it's good to take care of yourself. Like, if you're constantly there for people, like, a lot, like, I see people who throw themselves, who help other people a lot. But, you know, it's good to take time for yourself and take care of yourself. You know, you matter too. You're a person too. And if somebody else needs you, that's good. But just remember that you're important too.
Of course. Well, Annette, did you enjoy your time?
I did very much. Thank you for having me.
For a later time?
I would definitely be interested in that.
Alright, well, tell your friends that I have a podcast. I'll upload it today. It was fun talking to you.
Yeah, it was great talking to you too.
Alright, Annette. Well, would you like to give a little speech and then you're out of here?
I thought I already gave a speech.
Give an even cooler one.
Pancakes are better than waffles.
You think so?
I do.
Alright, Nat.
I think...
Alright, thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, have a nice day, Annet.
You too.
Alright, bye.
Bye.